Call a press conference this morning and discuss a homicide that we worked here in Baldwin County. We wanted to do it in a press release situation pure and simply because we've had so much interest over here from the media. We didn't want to exclude anyone, nor did we want to be in a position where you wouldn't have the opportunity to ask us questions. I've got our Captain of Investigations here, Brad King, as well as Agents Brian Hargrove and Todd Crosby with the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. These are the two crime scene techs with our local GBI office. And I'm not even saying this because I'm prejudiced. They're without a doubt what I consider the premier crime scene people, not only here in Milledgeville and Baldwin County, but anywhere. I've been doing this a long time, and this was a very unusual case that we worked here in Baldwin County. And to be rather candid, the crime scene was a little bit different from most crime scenes that we work. We have officially charged Stephen Charles Barrett today with 3 counts. We've charged him with the murder of his mother, Sandra Brantley Barrett. We've also charged him with 2 counts of aggravated cruelty to animals. We specifically on the warrants, we listed Sandra Brantley Barrett as the victim of the homicide case. We also specifically listed two family pets. We listed Sonny, Shih Tzu canine, and Bella, a Jack Russell Terrier canine. And this is a little bit unusual, these type charges. It also was a very unusual crime scene that we worked. And I think our people have done an excellent job on this investigation. It's still a current active investigation. We're still interviewing people. As of last Friday, we were out of town. Captain King interviewed people in the Dublin area. We're still actively looking at evidence. We're still actively interviewing people, and we are also pulling records from different sources that we need to follow up on. So we appreciate y'all's interest here in Baldwin County, and we appreciate y'all's specific interest in this case. We've just charged Barrett. I'm sure that at this point in time, his counsel will be representing him. And at this point in time, we have no scheduled court appearances. We have no scheduled anything. We're just basically putting y'all in the beginning of the charges. We met with him this morning, probably an hour ago, and officially notified Stephen Barrett that he is being charged with 3 counts. We advised him he's being charged with the murder of his mother and 2 family pets in their home. Any general questions for anyone here, we'd be more than glad to try to answer.
What do you expect? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You keep saying unusual crime scene. You want to describe that for us?
Well, when we work a crime scene, a homicide, we normally don't work a crime scene where we not only have a human being that has been murdered, but you also have 2 family pets, and you have a crime scene like that. It was very unusual. I've never seen one quite like that in my years of doing it. I can't speak for the GBI crime scene people, but I would imagine that it was an unusual crime scene for them also.
You said no court has been scheduled. Has our bond been set?
At this point in time, Mr. Barrett is being held on a probation warrant. He had previously been held on a probation warrant where he had violated a stay-away order through our state court. On charges like this, specifically on a murder charge, if any type bond is obtained by Barrett, it will be through a Superior Court judge. At this point in time, he has no bond.
Who is his attorney?
At this point in time, we have not appointed an attorney. We have had a public defender reach out to us, John Bradley, and Mr. Bradley advised us that he was going to be counsel for Mr. Barrett.
You mentioned the stay away order. Has there been a history of tension between the mother and son?
We have some, we have calls where we've responded to this home before on cases of, I'm gonna say domestic violence or domestic problems, and we're documenting that at this time.
Sheriff, the victim was stabbed a number of times, both in the front side of the body and in the back side. Is that true? Can you confirm that?
Our victim was stabbed multiple times. We're not getting into specifics on the wounds, but she was stabbed multiple times, which was released to us through the post-mortem examination in Atlanta.
What was the manner of death for the dogs?
Ma'am?
The manner of death for the dogs?
The same manner of death for the dogs as to our victim, and that was a stabbing.
Based on his previous, these calls that they've gotten at this residence, I mean, is this out of character for him as far as the animals being brought into this?
Well, this entire investigation was a little different, but normally we don't have domestic calls or homicides where we have human beings as well as animals involved in, under normal circumstances.
Was he living at the home?
He had been issued a stay away from this home through our state court, and this was from a case that occurred a few months ago. It is our understanding that he had violated the order and had been staying at the home. So,
Does he have a history of any sort of mental problems or behavioral problems? And what is his occupation?
well, at this point in time, we know that at one time Mr. Barrett was a school teacher. He had taught in I want to say in the elementary school range. I think for the many years now he's been unemployed. I think his family has sort of let him live with them, and I'm going to say off of them. As far as his mental, as far as mental conditions or
Yes,
problems, we can't really document that.
Okay.
Now, out of straight openness with you, since he's been in the Baldwin County Jail, we did take him to Augusta Regional Hospital. He stayed a few days over there, just purely to stabilize him, make sure everything was okay. At this point in time, he's currently being housed in the Baldwin County Jail.
Does he have a history of drug use?
We have rumors of that, but as far as true documentation on that, no, I cannot. I can't document that at this time.
Was it reported that he had been at the house several times, like violating a stay away order prior to the murder?
No, this we had not had. We had not had any calls that he was violating the stay away order. During the investigation, we have found that he had violated it on more than one occasion. But our first call was pure and simply when we got the call on the death of Sandra Barrett.
Sheriff, has he cooperated with you and with your detectives and GBI agents during the course of this investigation? Has he spoken to you guys about this case at all?
We have had no communication with Mr. Barrett. Since his arrest, we did advise him of his Miranda warnings and attempted to discuss this with him. He requested counsel, and at this point in time, we've had no further communication with him.
So you don't know what the motive is?
At this point in time, no, we're working an active homicide, but I could not tell you the direct motive of it.
Okay. No siblings?
No, he has no siblings, and he was an only child. And he has no siblings, and
Right.
also he's an only child for Charles and Sandra Barrett.
And his mother lived alone?
His father was deceased. He passed away December a year ago, and his mother had been living alone at 141 Bill Johnson.
How long has the stay? I'm sorry.
Ma'am?
How long has the stay away order been in place?
No, well, I don't know how long it has been. I'm going to say since court. I'm going to say 2 to 3 months. End of January.
So do we know why that was brought about, the stay away order? Did his mother request that?
No, this was a court order because of his charge of him assaulting his mother in state court, and because of the instant that occurred, he was given to stay away and not to get around her nor to come on her property.
Did you have any communication with her at the time that that all was going on, as far as how she felt about the stay away order?
Well, to be quite candid, I don't think that the mother wanted the stay away order to be enforced, but we run into that many times in a domestic situation. Bad things happen, but parents don't want a stay away order, and they don't want to keep their children away. And to be honest with you, it's hard for us to protect people when they won't help us enforce these type orders.
When was she assaulted?
I don't have the date of that with me. The court was in January, according to Captain King, and that's when the stay away was established.
Are those typically established like within, what is the time frame from the assault?
Well,
Usually?
normally what they do on a stay away is that is given at two occasions. It's either given when someone is bonded out of jail, and it is a condition of their bond that they not go back to the residence or around the people that they assaulted. And many times, if they don't get out on bond prior to court, then it's established through the court, a disposition of the court.
Okay, which was the case with?
And this time, it was a disposition of the court in a court proceeding. And if y'all don't have any other questions, we appreciate your interest. We'll try to advise y'all upon any notification of court appearances or anything that's going on. And we have found, to be real blunt with y'all, through when we have bad things happen here, our media has been very professional with us. We try to be open with y'all because y'all have always been very fair and open with us. We appreciate it more than you know.